Hello. In this C++ programming video, I will be covering do-while loops. These are similar to while loops, but with one key difference. The code block always runs at least once, even if the condition is false the first time. So what is a do-while loop? Well, the do-while loop checks the condition after executing the code. So as you can see in this syntax example here, the loop body will always run once, even if the condition is false. After the first iteration, that is when the while part of the loop comes in. If it's false after the first iteration, then it goes to the next line. If not, the code executes again. So let us look at a basic example here of a while loop. So the message prints before checking to see if I is less than or equal to 5. The loop continues on until the condition is false. So on line 4, we're starting at 1, and then during each iteration of the loop, we're displaying the count and incrementing our index I. And then we're returning 0 for successful execution. So let's compile this. And now let's run it. As you can see, we have count goes from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But what if we start with a number that is already greater than 5? So let's do 10. Let's save it, compile it, and then run it. As we can see, the code block executes once. And then after we increment, it's going to be 11, and 11 is obviously not less than or equal to 5. So at that point, we go to line 11, and then we end the program. So this was a good example of demonstrating the concept. So when do we use a do-while loop? Well, we use a do-while when you want something to run at least once, like a menu. Another use case is if you're waiting for valid input but want to prompt the user at least one time. Additionally, you would use this if you do not want to check the condition before the first run. So with that being said, let's move on to our second example here. Here, this is a simple menu program. So we're starting off with initializing a character called choice. And then inside our do while, we are displaying a menu. So we're displaying the options, and then we're prompting the user to enter 1, 2, or 3. So, and then we use a switch statement to go through our different options. If and we continue on to the next iteration of the loop if the user has not chosen to exit the program. So once the user enters 3, then we exit the program. So let's compile this one. And run it. So as we can see here, we have our menu here. First, it's going to prompt you. It's, as you can see here, on lines 7 through 12. So first, let's enter 1. So then it prints out starting game, and then it displays the menu again. So let's try 2 now. And as you can see, it goes through that option. And then if we enter some invalid number like 4, it says it's an invalid choice. But once we want to exit the program, we enter 3. It says goodbye, and the program ends. So some common pitfalls and mistakes. Do not forget the semicolon after the while line, as you can see right there. And also avoid infinite loops. Ensure the condition will eventually become false or the user can exit. So, as a practice challenge, create a program that keeps asking the user if they want to continue with either Y or N. Y for yes, N for no. If they enter Y, display looping again, and if they enter N, exit. Use a do while loop to ensure that the prompt appears at least once. So, in this episode, you learned what do while loops are, how they differ from while loops, some common use cases and real examples, and some tips to avoid infinite loops and syntax errors. If you found this tutorial helpful, do not forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment. In the next episode, we will move on to for loops, which are ideal for counted repetition and step-based iteration. Please reach out if you have any questions. Otherwise, thank you for watching and have a great day.